And then, of course, there is the chat box. So with that, let me just share that, again, this week, Jim Webb is not able to be with us. There is still a lot going on with Candy in the hospital, so he's down there practically full time. And I also would like to express my condolence today to Ed Cohen. Ed and Sandy are back in Pennsylvania. Ed lost his sister 2 days ago, so they're back in Pennsylvania making arrangements with family. So I thank you, Sandy, for the time you're taking to put this webinar together for us tonight and to run it for us. I know there's a lot going on, and we do not take what you're doing for us for granted. So condolences to you, Jim. Peace to you and the family through this terrible time. I'm really excited tonight to bring on some speakers, some of our distributors. You know, when we bring people into the business, we share a few things with them. You know, people tell us all the time that they would like a different life. They would like to do something for themselves. They'd like to own their own business. They want to have a different lifestyle. They want to be able to pay their bills every month and not worry about where the money's coming from. And there's lots of different reasons that people come into the business. The sad thing is that so many people that come into the business never see themselves as a business owner. And that's a huge difference between people that become successful and people that get in and do it sometimes part-time, not really, don't educate themselves, don't read. I posted something today that Eric Worre posted, and Grace Dick shared it with us this morning. It was a great post. I'll have to see if I can remember exactly what it was, but it talked about, you know, why is it that people don't get farther along, and it's because you have $70 billion spent every year on lottery tickets and something like $14 billion spent on buying books to help yourself grow. So those are some things to think about, and it's always exciting when we bring in people to the business that are coachable, that participate, that do the activities necessary to grow a business at whatever speed they are able to do it at. You know, there's very basic things in this business to be successful, and they are educate yourself, and that means reading, participating in meetings, participating in trainings, and then there's only two things that are going to make you money, and one of them is to recruit, and the second thing is to get the person started. Recruiting can be easy for a lot of people, but if they don't teach them how to get that first check, nothing will ever happen. So recruiting and helping them make money are the only two ways that you can grow your business. Everything else is education, reading, going to meetings, and all of those things that we teach people to do are nothing different than what your professors teach you to do in school. It's nothing different than what your boss will teach you when you're new to a job. You have to read, you have to learn, you have to educate yourself to do your job well. And this business is no different. And I'm very excited to have a few young men on this call tonight from Team No Sleep. And I'm hoping you guys are there because I haven't heard you, but Kenny, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I am here.
All right.
I'm here too, Carolyn Johnson is JP.
Okay, and Zach, are you there? Okay, well, we're going to hope he comes on next. So I just want to go to the next slide, please, Sandy. And I want to thank you, Kenny Kool, for coming on tonight, because I know that you're out. And tell us what you're doing again now in St. Louis.
Well, I am very tired, exhausted. Been pedaling pedicabs all day today for the Cardinals home opener downtown St. Louis. Very big baseball city, one of the biggest. And we just started a business pedaling three-wheel taxis around the city, taking people from the Cardinals game to different bars, to different restaurants, to their hotel, that sort of thing. And I love this business because it goes hand in hand with Zango. We need energy, we need recovery to stay out on the streets, and we meet lots of awesome people.
That's awesome. Now, is this your business, Kenny, or is this your company?
This is I'm a small partner in this business.
Oh, well, good for you. Good for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Kenny, share with us. I know you've been with Zango for a while. Can you tell us when you started and a little bit about your background, what you're doing besides this new venture, which is awesome? Are you still working at the restaurant?
Yes, I sure am. I started it at the restaurant back when I was 15 years old, and I met Ron and Marlene in 2009, and they came up to me when I was working with my mom at a convention center. She invents women's products for the household, and we were there at a home show, and Ron and Marlene just walked right up and told me about their business, not right away, of course, but piqued my interest enough for them to meet with me. And I've been doing I've been doing the business on and off since 2009, really hardcore since MB30 launched.
Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. Can you hear me? I'm here. Can you hear me?
Can anybody else hear me?
Can you hear me?
No. Okay.
I can hear you, Carolyn.
Okay, we got you, Kenny.
Oh, you got me?
Carolyn,
Okay.
you're coming through loud and clear, but I think your other guests are not muted out, and that's the background noise you're hearing.
Okay, so if the rest of you, John and Zach, if you could mute out till we're ready to talk to you, we've got background noise, so thank you. Okay, Kenny, so you've been 2009, so tell me this, because there is no way that Ron and Marlene were not incredibly intuitive about bringing people into this business that they met as they watched them do whatever it is they were doing. So is that your background noise, Kenny?
It could be. I'm in a lobby. I had to step inside of a hotel lobby to do this call. There's other people in the lobby. Let me go into a different area of the lobby. Okay, this should be better. Maybe it's a little reverberated, but
it has to be totally different.
Does it sound better?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Okay, good. So yeah, yes, I can hear you. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
We're having trouble with his connection.
Carolyn, we can hear Carolyn.
I'll take my headphones out. Can you hear me better now?
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. I won't do my headphones anymore. Okay. So I met Ron and Marlene back in 2009, and they shared the Zango juice with me, and I fell in love with the Zango juice. Have been using it religiously ever since. And then they launched the MB30 movement and the Limitless, which just I will never forget the call Justin Bryce gave to me and said, Kenny, I know you haven't been building the business a whole lot. I know you're still using the products, but please take another look at what Aaron Garrity and Tommy Johnson have done with this MB30 movement. I think you are going to love it. And he said that because he knew me very well. We had gone on a couple of Zango cruises before together, and he knew that I was very passionate about helping people in my age group because of the economic times and the loss of jobs and that sort of thing. And so he knew that MB30 was exactly what I was looking for. And so once that came around, I was all in. The Limitless, I completely got off of Red Bull, Gatorade, Monster, because I work in the restaurant industry. So thankfully, I've been able to save some of my coworkers from that stuff as well. My boss loves the Limitless, and so the products are just a essential part of my life. And then the meal pack started to become really big here in St. Louis, and thankfully, that program exists, or I would not know John Pearson and Zachary Babcock, two of the other gentlemen on this call today, who are just amazing people in my life. And And so, you know, I don't want to go off on too many different tangents here, but I'll just keep it to the questions. But that's how I was introduced, and that's how long I've been in, and that's why I'm in, is because of this energy drink that fits so well into my age group's lifestyle. It's such a simple product to share for us. It's portable. It's very, very good. Everyone on this call knows about the products, but what other questions do we have, and what other directions would you like to go?
Well, I have two more questions I want to ask of you quickly. How do you reach out when you have a potential business partner or maybe even a potential customer? How do you not only your upline, but how do you utilize your sideline and your downline? Do you reach out and use all available to you? And how do you decide to do that?
I'm sorry, there was a motorcycle going by. I'm in the city. I didn't hear that question.
How do you utilize your upline, sideline, and downline? How do you determine if you are bringing in a potential business partner or a customer? How do you reach out and take advantage of all that is available to you?
That's a good question. It really all depends on their mindset and how open-minded they are. But the products are simple to share because of the resources the company has put together with the videos and the documents, PDFs, and then the product is so I will either just shoot them some information. Typically they'll see me drinking it and they'll ask about it, and that's how I will end up getting them information or a sample, is because they'll just see me using it. Becoming a product of the product is very key. And then depending on how their product experience goes, I will ask them a question. It just depends on the person, really. You just ask them what kind of things that they're into. I don't really ask them if it depends on the person, 100%. But I would just ask them what they do, how long they've been doing it, how they like it, what they don't like about it, what they like about it. And in that process, they'll tell you if they're happy doing what they're already doing. And if they're not happy doing what they're already doing, then I'll suggest that they come to an event with me and come and meet some of my friends and some of the people in my business. And, you know, it seems like they may be looking for a side income or something to do on the side, and maybe they're looking for some fun people to work with or travel around. And I'll ask them if they want to, if they've ever been to Mexico before. And if they get excited about that question, then I'll know where to go from there. But if they don't get excited about that question, then I won't even bring up the Mexico trip. I let the person and their bright eyes determine whether I should go forward, if that helps.
Okay, I think, have I lost him only, Naomi? Can you hear him?
No, I can hear you and I can hear him.
It must be my phone then. Okay. I'm gonna.
Yeah, Carolyn, coming fine. Both of you are doing great.
Okay. So Kenny, one last thing. One of the things that I see that you're very committed to is attending meetings. I mean, you come to the XBAs. You've been to more than one. And
I love them.
And what would you say to people that get in this business, whether they're just getting into the business or they have been in the business for a while? What would you say to them about meetings that are put on in their area and trainings and meetings that are put on by Zango and other leaders?
Well, I would have to say that the first thing I could say is that the people that are in, I can only speak for my group in my organization, but the people that are in my organization that are at all of the events and at the trainings and on the calls, they make the most money, bottom line. I mean, that's pretty simple. You have to feed yourself the knowledge and the tools and surround yourself with the people that are doing it. And the Zango XBAs and the local events are being put on by people who are doing it. The XBAs, they're put on by the top leaders in the company, the corporate staff, and then the leaders and then the events in their local area are being put on by the local leaders in their area that are movers and shakers and that know how to invite, They know how to put together events, and those are the people that we need to learn from and soak up that knowledge. And because there's a learning curve, and so you have to push through that learning curve by surrounding yourself with people who know what they're doing. And I just cannot stress enough how amazing the XBAs have been. People will come to even if it's not an XBA, even if it's just a corporate tour, people will come with fairly low expectations sometimes, and then they'll walk out that door through the roof, excited. They'll see something that you didn't even anticipate for them to see, because there's so much great information shared at these events that you don't really know what it is that's going to pique their interest. The only goal is to just get your newest guests there, your best and brightest, and let the upline and the team deliver the message, and then that's when the magic happens, is at the event. They're amazing.
Great. Kenny, I really want to thank you. I know you're winding up a day doing what you're doing, and like you say, you're exhausted. I appreciate your taking the time to talk with us. So thank you for being on the call with us.
You are welcome.
Thank you for everything that you do.
Sorry about all the background noise, but it's
problem.
a pleasure and honor, and thank you so much for doing everything that you're doing, and I'll see you in Vegas.
You bet. Okay. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Zach, are you on the phone? I don't see him. I've tried to reach out. So let's move on to 2 slides down, Sandy. John, are you there?
I am here, Carolyn. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So, John, I love working with you, and I know that everybody that works with you loves working with you. Your attitude, your just high level of energy. Would probably say like an ADD, like my son, like sit still for just a second, and but it works. And John, I know that when you signed up for Zango, you were living in St. Louis.
Yes, I was.
And then you moved to Salt Lake.
Absolutely, and I was honored to be introduced to Zango. I really just joined Zango to stop drinking Monster Energy drinks, but how I got introduced to Zango was through Zach Babcock. I saw an epic change in his life. He was feeding starving children and nursing mothers around the world, so the law of attraction brought us together, and then I got to meet people like you, Carolyn, and Tommy Johnson, and I do have ADHD, but I've got off psychiatric meds joining Zango. I've got an amazing testimony from the Juice. I met Marlene Bryce, and it was on from there, and Kenny Kool.
Great. And so I know that you when you moved to Salt Lake, it was not just to be close to the headquarters, because you were there for another purpose, to go to schooling, to work in the field of rehabilitation, correct?
Absolutely. So I was already a teacher for the Salvation Army Adult Rehab Center in St. Louis, Missouri, and when I came to the very first Zango Business Academy, Ryan Anderson, the vice president, put on a kind of a hypnotized type music, kind of close your eyes and visualize yourself, and I talked to Beverly Hollister, our founder. She told me about the epidemic of the addiction problem in Salt Lake. So I'm a 100% service-connected military veteran. So I saw the VA, and I had a friend in St. Louis that works for the VA, and he used to live in Highland, Utah, and he was in the rehabilitation department in St. Louis, and he told me if you could get to Utah, go there. I went home and I started pursuing not only my Zango dreams, but I've always had a dream to with through Zango and the financial abundance that it's going to bring into my life to build a homeless shelter and a rehab center for the less fortunate people, and I know it's going to happen someday. So I packed my bags up and came out here with Kenny Kool. We drove across the USA with no sleep, and I drank Limitless Ignite the whole way here. I felt like Fred Flintstone, Carolyn Johnson. I wanted to run all the way to Utah.
Again, the enthusiasm is contagious. So let me ask you this. Now that you're there and settled, you're a recruiting machine. I love to watch the people constantly coming in that you're bringing into the business, not just from Utah, but from different countries as well.
Oh yeah, that's again that goes to I really started studying the law of attraction. So Marlene Bryce came out here to Utah, and I've never in my life met someone as amazing as Marlene. As soon as she got off the airplane, we went to meetings after meetings. By the time Marlene left, I started the first team in Utah for Kristen Brindle, Stormy Brindle, Jesse Ching, Travis Lavery, Kimberly McAllister. So we got 5 people rolling in Utah now. I go on Instagram and I look for people like Frank in South Africa. I'm on constant calls with him. I see the law of attraction brings people together, Carolyn. So I'm looking for business-minded people. I get on Skype calls. Got a team that they just moved to Utah from Cancun. It's going down, Carolyn. And I got a team in Canada, and it's all got to do with attracting the right quality people in your life. And I never knew what the law of attraction was until I read the book The Secret and watched the movie that I was introduced to, and it blew my mind.
Oh, that's awesome. So, John, I know that you are being close to corporate has some real benefits, and I know that Collie Butler, amazing leader that she is one of the greatest for working anybody, not only in her organization, but working with people outside of her organization, and everyone is always welcome, and I know that she and you do meetings together, and what a blessing that is for you, not to mention the blessing that it is for the people that you bring to the meetings.
Absolutely. So Collie Butler is absolutely amazing. Like you said, anyone's welcome. Collie, we're doing a meeting this Thursday at corporate with our team out here. Her family, Tom and Carol, are awesome. They're on my sideline or cross line, whatever you want to say, but they help me. Tom and Carol Ferrier. Patricia de Guzman helps me. Vicky Velasco. The benefits of Zango is that we are all one company, one vision, and one dream, and we all want to be successful, and we know that we got the right vehicle, Carolyn Johnson. So for Collie Butler, I know that she'll pick up my call anytime and give me advice, whether it be on Zango or whatever. But and then when I get people say that are from different companies that I need breakdown from the compensation plan, I definitely get your son Tommy Johnson. That guy blows my mind every time. I just actually recruited some people from a different company called BEMA, and they realized that BEMA had no support. And when Tommy Johnson broke their comp plan and knew Bob Schmidt from back when they were a different company all the way down to the binary comp plan, it's just the support, the love, and affection that you could rebuild, that you build along the way in Zango. And the people like Collie Butler, yourself, Carolyn Johnson, Marlene Bryce. I know that I got $16 multi-million in my upline that I can get on the phone at any time. Corporate staff, Kelly Allred, Ryan Anderson, Leslie Gallagher, Beverly Hollister, Joe Morton. It could go on and on and on, but I've been in the military, Carolyn, and I've never in my life met some of the best, most unconditional loving people like I have in Zango, and that ain't no sales pitch, that's the truth.
So John, I appreciate that. It is utilizing, leveraging at its finest. I tell people the one most significant tool that we all have is leveraging our time, and that's utilizing other people to help us build our businesses. And whether that person is 16 or 20 or 30 years below you in depth, it all benefits everybody in between. So thank you for that. And then I guess I would like to also ask you, it sounds to me like you have purposefully focused on bringing in business partners.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, and so let me just say, I know that you're looking at having your own facilities. Is that your goal ultimately with building your business with Zango, is to help enable you to do that, or what is your final?
My goal with Zango is to find business-minded people. I do have a lot of business partners. A lot of them didn't see the vision, unfortunately, but now through the law of attraction, I'm attracting the right people in my life, people that...
You are now unmuted.
Excuse me, John, hold on just a second.
You are now muted.
Could somebody mute out? Somebody's not muted, and there's a lot of background noise. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, John, go ahead.
Okay, so my dream is, I love customers, and I do have a customer leg under my mom, so my mom gets free product. Customers are always great. In order to get down to the 520 Premier 100, 200, 500K, I want to get down to them levels 6 through 9. I know Tommy Johnson said he'd give 1 through 5 away to have levels 6 through 9, Carolyn Johnson. But yes, my goal and dreams are to build a homeless shelter. That's my why, a rehab center for people without insurance through Zango, because I know, I don't know who, if you're just looking for free products on this call, $100, $200 a month, $500,000, $2,000 or $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. I know people, Carolyn, and you do too. I know people that make $100,000 a month, and I know that's my goals and dreams with Zango, is to help the less fortunate, not only through health and wellness, but financial abundance in their life, to watch other people grow and succeed in personal development, and just the amazing benefits that come along with going to Zango Business Academy. People, every time I live by corporate, and every time I go in there, I feel like I'm in a movie. The love and support, I'm telling you, I really, Carolyn, I come to realize that I have proclaimed in my life that anyone I talk to is going to join my Zango business, and I just don't go find anyone anymore. I'm looking for people with maybe expendable income that could afford to pursue the dreams, because it's going to take time to get to where you need to be. But I know in my heart where this company is going to take me, and I want to take everybody with me.
Thank you, John. I so appreciate that, and I know we were talking the other day about handling those disappointments. So often people, get very discouraged, and I think we all do. Anybody that thinks that when you get to certain levels you don't have disappointments are wrong, but we all have disappointments, and you and I have talked about those, and you talked about your disappointments that you've had, but that you made a decision to persevere.
Absolutely. I've only been in Zango for a year, a little over a year, actually, so 14 months this month, and I unfortunately some of my best, my 5K. I did that I didn't know it was fast. I should have did it faster, and I'm going to do 20 Ks and whatever other Ks that's come along the way. But I've had some of my very close friends, and when I moved to Salt Lake City, I had a really close friend of mine. I won't say his name, but I've known him all my life. He quit, and I didn't understand why, and he didn't even tell me. So sometimes we got to think outside the box. I wanted to leave Utah 8 or 9 times. I talked to Marlene, and I wanted to leave. Corporate's here, but and they do amazing things for me, and I love them to death. But Carolyn Johnson, it takes people like you, Callie Butler, Marlene, Tommy Johnson, Ray Heron, Richard O'Brien, Barbara Schmidt, whoever else that's out here in the field, the distributors that are going to guide us and help us to show people what it takes to share personal experiences of what they went through in their business in order to be successful in this business. It's about staying connected, and I didn't understand that at first, and I didn't understand what was going on, and I just kept going and going. Now it's all falling in place, and it's going to just spread like wildfire. Carolyn Johnson, I'm sorry.
Well, John, I appreciate you coming on the call tonight. I'm excited. I know you're planning on going on the Paradise trip.
Oh yeah, I already got it now. Paradise trip.
And
I'll tell you another thing. what Zango did for me is because the first trip I had about 1,200 points, Carolyn Johnson, and Leslie Gallagher. I don't know if y'all know, that's our president of this company, but she also has a degree in law. And when my paperwork got lost and they said I wasn't going to get a passport, whatever they said, she got on the phone, wrote a letter to them, and within 2 weeks I got my passport. So I had to defer the first trip, and I think I got about 700 points for this next trip. So I know what time it is, Carolyn Johnson. We're going to paradise.
Well, John, thank goodness for Zango and their hearts, because what Leslie Gallagher did for you is an example of what our owners and our executive team and the employees of Zango do for everybody every day. And it is part of Zango's DNA. So we appreciate that, and I appreciate your coming on the call. So
it was an honor, Carolyn Johnson.
Well, and we'll be seeing you in Las Vegas.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
VIP. Yeah, and I'm down with ADP, Carolyn Johnson. Yeah, you know me.
Well, John, thank you for your time tonight. So, Sandy, if we could move on. I'm sorry that we missed Zachary Babcock tonight. He probably had a conflict. I wasn't able to reach him, but we'll get him on at another time. So let's quickly go through some of our promotions for the month and a couple of other things. Our Zalo Pro Pack, remember this month, you get one of each, plus the sample cards in the bottle, while the bottles last, that is, and for $134.95. That's a $27 savings. So make sure you check in. It's a perfect time to introduce people and give out samples. Also, you can buy the Limitless 3-pack and save $20. So that's a wholesale for $100. PV is $60. And then the Ignite, same thing, a 3-pack, $115, $65 PV with a $20 savings on the packaging, on the packages, and the Reload 3-pack. And I don't know about everybody out there, but boy, I mix and use my different Zalo products different. I mean, I mix Ignite with Reload. I love the Reload with the not the Ageless, but the Eris. Love that product in the morning. So next slide, Sandy. And of course we've extended the Duo Pack, which I am excited about this because the Duo Pack gives you an opportunity to have both a case of the regular juice and the case of the Reserve. For those people that have gone on the Reserve for the first time because of this special that they introduced a few months ago, I've had people tell me that they'll never take anything but the Reserve again because they were able to tell the difference. So we oftentimes don't pay attention to what our bodies are telling us, but for those of us that have been on the juice, like myself, for 13 years now, I've been on the juice, and to have somebody that's been on the juice for years all of a sudden get a bottle of the Reserve and feel a difference, that tells you how in tune they are to what's working in their body. So I love that fact. Next slide, please. And we want to talk about the Paradise trip. You guys, it's in August. Prepare for that. It's you can see how you can qualify. You know, you can earn trip points for signing up somebody, a customer, for $100 to $199. I don't want to go through each one of these, but I'm telling you, go on to the Zango site, and right on the front home page, there's a box you can click that will tell you exactly what you need to do to win points. And all you need is 300 points that will get you your expenses all paid for, the land package, the meals, and the shared room. And if you get 500 points, all the expenses are paid for two. So you can take your spouse, or you can take a friend, and both of you will be paid for. And then after 500 points, they start giving you travel vouchers. So I know there's a lot of people that have already qualified for that trip and that are still qualifying. And so please make sure. I missed the last trip, but I saw the pictures and talked to the people, and it was an amazing amazing trip and phenomenal hotels. So don't miss on that one. And then next slide. On Wednesday, April the 27th, so that would be not next week, but the week after, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the week after will be the Zango University doing a program on unlocking your $1 million mindset. And that is, if you look at the books that are listed there, Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. So I love that book. I read it long ago, and I'm going to read it again. And so Sandy will be running that event. So make sure you put that on your calendar and get with Sandy if you have any questions. Next slide, please. XBA, June 2nd through the 4th, I just got an email from Adam Blake that said there's only a few of the VIP tickets left. And if you get a VIP ticket, then there's a dinner the evening before that's only going to have like 100, I think there's only like 120 tickets being sold that are VIP tickets. So for those of you that want to come in a day early and get involved in the private dinner and meeting, leaders think tank that they're going to have, that's going to be fun. And for those of you that have been to an XBA, you know what to expect. Amazing opportunity to learn how to build your business and how to take it to the next level. Some great leaders will be speaking. And I heard from a little birdie that there's going to be a possible exciting announcement made there. And so for those of you that are thinking about going, you may want to hurry up and buy a ticket before they run out of them, because I think there's a limited amount of tickets that they're going to have available. And it'll be a great event. And you'll walk away with a better understanding of your why than you had before you got there if you don't have a clear understanding. Next slide, please. And I want to remind you of Adam Blake that came on last week that is working with lots of people in the field now that it wants to help anybody learn how to use their back office, what's in their back office, the MyZango Builder, rank requirements, how do you get from 1K to 5K, exactly what do I need, and the compensation plan, not how to build your business from the standpoint of getting distributors, teaching and training your distributors. But this is a lot of the housekeeping stuff that oftentimes it's hard to get to everybody, or we're not always available. And I even find myself asking Adam questions, and then I get him to say something like, well, it's in your back office, and I go, okay. So I scheduled an appointment with him. And how to earn your extra bonuses, the iBonus, the ADP Awards, nothing beats free. And his email address is adam.blake, B-L-A-K-E, at zango.com. adam.blake at zango.com. So make sure if you have questions or you want some special training or you just can't remember something, that you connect with him. Next slide, please, because he is there to help you, and he loves working with people. So this goes back to what Naomi was talking about earlier. If you go to the facebook.com, the only time you ever have to put in facebook.com/Zango University is the first time you go to Zango University on Facebook. Once you've done it once, it'll always pop back up, Zango University. And then the tab where all of our recordings are is under the Notes tab. And that is not only our calls, but the John and Gina Jurowitz's testimonial calls are in there as well. So that's very exciting. And I just want to tell you how appreciative we are that you joined us tonight. And I want you to think about a couple of things. You know, a lot of us think we're on the right track. but sometimes we think being on the right track is enough. I love this that Sandy put up here. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. And how often do we sit there? I'm guilty of that. I do that from time to time. Don't ask me why. I'm human, but I'm sure we all do that from time to time. Unless you're Sandy Cohen, who is like the Energizer Bunny. I mean, bless her heart. I mean, here she is today, driving around in the car, making service arrangements with Ed and the family, and she's doing my power slides for me. You are an angel, Sandy. So don't sit there. And the last thing I love, you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. John Maxwell, if you aren't reading John Maxwell, I urge you to get his books. He has amazing leadership books. He just had another new one come out. I love his books because they all have those aha statements that I underline. So with that, thank you very much. Next week we have a fun guest coming on for you. Watch for it this week, and hopefully Jim Webb will be back. Thank you, Naomi, again for welcoming everybody, and Sandy for running our PowerPoint. And thank you, everybody, for being on the call. Have an amazing week. God bless everyone. Good night.
God bless you, Carolyn.